Hello, welcome to the video. Today we're going to take a look at the Shadow Rhyperior in the Open Great League. This Pokemon is going to be a must-have for the Open Master League, but for the Great League it also has quite an interesting play here, as it's going to be one of the Pokemon that can also deal with those flying type Pokemon while being a Mud Slapper. And like Mud Slappers are very strong right now, which you all know, with like Marowak being around, with Gastron being around, with Golurk being around. But yeah, Rhyperior is a bit of a different one here. Also, Rhyperior is definitely a bit of one that is luck-based, because you have a Breaking Swipe. A Breaking Swipe is a move that can drop the opponent's attack by 50%, like there's a 50% chance basically, and that is going to be quite an important one. And I have to say, this definitely came not often in clutch. Breaking Swipe for me, every single time basically I have a chance move, I feel like I always can get below the odds that I should get, but yeah, there were some games as well where I had like 4 or 5 Breaking Swipes in, didn't get a single debuff and lost because of this, and this is just something that is happening with Rhyperior, which you're always going to see. The luck is a big factor for it. First game here, we're going to have a great matchup here anyway now, because the Chestnut is gonna go up against the Jumpluff, and as Chestnut is not running Smackdown, we are going to be easily able to win this battle here, and we can move on to the next opponent, if the Jumpluff really wants to knock him out here. Anyway, we're gonna move on. We're gonna see the Rhyperior against a Clodsire. Great matchup for us. We're going to do some super effective damage, and they swap out into the Licky. That's one of the things that I kinda, I don't know, miss with this team. Having a good answer against Licky and Dunsparce. Like, I would like to have like something like a Fighting type or anything that can really deal with them well. It's a bit tricky, I feel like. Those rollout users definitely are very good save-ups in the current meta, especially as Fighting type Pokemon are quite rare. But yeah, definitely an interesting one there. We're going to see the Licky now going up against the Jumpluff. We are going to be able to go ahead and let the move go through. Sure, most I went for a charge move a bit early on, because now they can realign if they want to, and they're going to actually go ahead and go into the Clodsire here again, which allows me to get up 2 Aerial Aces, doing quite some decent damage and hopefully putting them into range now, where I can fully smack them down. I kind of just want to slap at them out of here. Don't really want to use any kind of charge move against them, as Breaking Swipe is not going to do too much damage against them anyway, and Rock Wrecker would be resisted, and now we have a ton of energy. In comes Low Kicks, and this is actually the battle I was talking about as well. Low Kicks doing some decent damage against us, but if we're gonna get a debuff here, we're gonna be fine. First move coming through, we already did, I think, one more before, where we didn't get a debuff. Next one's coming through, get the shield, doesn't get the debuff. Next one's coming through here, trying to get another shield here from the opponent, does not get the debuff. And so yeah, this is completely changing the entire game here, because I would have been easily able to survive a move even easier here. But getting, I think, 3 or 4 Breaking Swipes onto the Pokemon and not getting the debuff, even though it's a 50% chance, is just quite unlucky and is going to lose us a battle here, which is kind of sad. But honestly, still, if we had normal luck, we would have been easily able to win this one. Next opponent, we're going to see here the American Elite. Of course, a horrible Elite Force, but we have 2 decent answers for this Pokemon. We're going to have the Save Swap of our Feraligatr, and we're going to have in the back here the Jumpluff, which is going to be able to resist the Fast Move, plus also Bone Club, which is of course the main bread and butter for this Pokemon. Honestly, I'm very curious on how the next tournament is going to go for the Play Pokemon tournament there. I think it is the Dortmund one. I'm not too sure if there's one before in like the US or something like this. But very curious what the meta is going to look like. We're going to see the Hydro Cannon coming through here from Feraligatr. This is going to be enough to get the shield from the opponent. Let's see what we can do here next. We're going to try to go for the full slap down with the Rhyperior. Gotta use a shield, of course. Brian would do super effective damage, double super effective damage, and so we cannot really have that. But at least we can now align our Jumpluff against the opponent. They're still going to have a super effective hit here with the Rock Slide, which is gonna be a double debuffed, or like, basically debuffed now from the season as well. I think got debuffed before as well. I think it was like 80 damage or something before, then went down to 75, and now it's like 65 damage for Rock Slide. So this move really got hit hard throughout the seasons, but as you're gonna see, we're gonna be able to still get the knockout here against the Toxapex, and now depends on what they're going to have in the back. Jumpluff is kind of shredding the opponent's team, and we're gonna see the Feraligatr coming in. I gotta go for the Aerial Ace. You might think that does not make any sense at all. The opponent could know this, and they do know this, and that is totally fine, because I don't really care about the damage output of Aerial Ace. I just need to get them a little bit lower, because now we can go for the full Mud Slap down, getting them to 1 HP in a Dream here, and we still have our Jumpluff, and this is like the way to go. Mud Slap from a Shadow Pokemon is just doing way too much damage. Next opponent, we're going to have a Dunsparce here. I'm fairly certain I could just play out the 2-shield scenario here as well, But yeah, it is a bit of a trickier one. I decided to swap out of here into my Feraligatr. I should have most likely not done this in hindsight because our fast move is not doing any damage at all. And this is like the kind of awkward thing, like the biggest core breaker for this team for sure was the Dunsparce. And it's kind of everywhere. Like Dunsparce is definitely one of the most common Pokemon for the current meta, and also a Pokemon that I would imagine going to be very common for the upcoming tournaments. But as you can see here, the opponent swaps into a Quillfish, which is kind of nice for us. We're going to be able to swap back into our Rhyperior. I should have maybe went for a Breaking Swipe there, but I decided to go for the full farm now, which is going to allow us to get a ton of energy, which is also kind of great. And they're going to swap out into a Claydol. I decided to go ahead and go for a charge move here as well, as they're going to have also the buffed Mud Slap, but I did not really know the moveset. I was thinking maybe they have Rock Tomb on this Pokemon. I should still be able to kind of survive this quite easily, but like Claydol has basically every single charge move in the game, and it has apparently also Ice Beam, which I did not see coming at all, and that is going to be a very tough one for us because it's double super effective damage. Now we have to shield up a Rock Slide. If it was the other way around, we would have been way better off. I was expecting a Rock Tomb and not like something like an Ice Beam, but a crazy cool coverage there from the opponent's Claydol. Pokemon for sure that maybe I'm going to take a look at as well eventually. This thing has crazy good coverage, but it doesn't really help it here because it doesn't do any damage with a Mud Slap against our Jumpluff, and so we are going to be able to win this battle with another Breaking Swipe of the Rhyperior. Moving on to the next opponent, we're going to have Toxapex in lead, which is usually a fairly decent lead for us. They swap onto the Decidueye or running the move Astonish, of course. I can go for the Breaking Swipe, trying to drop the opponent's attack here, which is again not working out. Honestly, if someone really has nothing to do right now, they could actually count all the Breaking Swipes I did in this video and see how many debuffs I got. I barely got them. Like 50% chance is a joke here. Like I think I'm already at like 8 or 9 Breaking Swipes, and I got like one time I think the debuff. It's just ridiculous. But as you can see, the opponent gonna go for Spirit Shackle and gonna be able to get still to another Aerial Ace, and very likely going to be able to also knock out the opponent's Decidueye with that, allowing us to realign, and we decide to still swap out of here as yeah, Toxapex is kind of a bit of a toughie for us, and so we're gonna go for a Breaking Swipe against the opponent's Sableye, get the attack drop here actually, that's great. Which honestly doesn't really matter at all, because now we're just gonna farm them down anyway with our Feraligatr, try to get as much energy as possible. But the game is still not really over. We have now Feraligatr against the Toxapex. Toxapex has the more bulk basically, has also the option to resist our charge moves, which is not really ideal. And they have access to Sludge Wave, which is definitely a move that would hit us quite hard. But basically what we only have to do here is to get them either low enough for an Aerial Ace or get the, yeah, basically shield there as well, something like that. I don't know, we just have to get them kind of low here. We're just gonna try our best to go for another Hydro Cannon to get their last shield. Let's see if they're gonna go for it. They decide to do exactly this, and now I think it should be range for the Aerial Ace. I tried to swap out, but honestly the game was horrible today, like lag is just everywhere. They decided to go for a Sludge Wave, which gives me the opportunity to still reach that Aerial Ace on a CMP tie, and so we can win this battle here. But yeah, there were definitely some games, especially with a different kind of team, where I lost a lot just to lag, and that's just unfortunate. Here we're gonna see Dragapult in the lead. Very cool, spicy Pokemon. Maybe I should have swapped out earlier though, because my backline is actually better against Dragapult than my lead, especially if I don't have energy on my lead. And so here they're gonna get the Breaking Swipe debuff. I don't get the Breaking Swipe debuff again, of course not, but we're gonna get out the Toxapex, which is actually really good for us, because Toxapex is a Pokemon that I don't really want to have up against my Jumpluff, or even against my Rhyperior if they have energy on it. So I'm quite happy with this play so far. We're gonna get a ton of damage onto them with the Hydro Cannon and also the Shadow Claw spam here from the Feraligatr. Really wonder if they're gonna nerf Feraligatr for the next season, because I feel like it's like the one Pokemon that feels a bit too safe right now. But yeah, wonder if they're gonna do something about it or not. We will see. It would be most likely a Shadow Claw nerf then, which I don't think we're gonna see, but maybe, I don't know. But yeah, we're gonna take a Brine here, which is maybe not ideal now in hindsight, because they're going to have in the back the Feraligatr, and well, of course the matchup here is a bit better for me. It's still not really over. It's still going to be a very tricky one for us, as we are going to be trying to have to go to basically for an Energy Ball there. Energy Ball is the only way of winning this battle. They go for the Hydro Cannon, extra fast moves here. Maybe a third one would have been ideal as well, because I think they did not have enough energy for a Hydro Cannon or anything else. So yeah, you're going to be able to go for the Energy Ball. It is fine. This is going to be enough to knock them out, and we can now at least see that they're going to catch a move. Great play by the opponent, honestly. to be fair, I wasn't also really paying too much attention. I was watching a YouTube video on the side. But yeah, we're gonna see here the opponent being able to go for a breaking swipe, knocking us out, and we sadly gonna lose this one. Was a winnable game, but good game to the opponent. A zoom roll next one is going to be very, very bad for us, but we can swap onto a Feraligatr, and apparently the opponent likes to stay in here, and especially with the nowadays meta, it is very important to kinda keep the switch clock in your mind, because it's now 50 seconds and 60 seconds, and so here those 2 Hydro Cannons plus the fast move, that we already went through, kinda got rid of 3/4 of the switch clock already at this point, which is kind of mad, and so we can neatly swap out already if we needed to, and now like there's no switch advantage for the opponent anymore, all of it is completely gone, and honestly I make a mistake here. I should have used the shield, for sure. This move allowed me to just realign myself, and realignment is very important with the Pokemon that we have. And so we are in a little bit of a tough spot, especially as there is a Decidueye in the back. I swap out into my Jumpluff. They could have access to actually the move Brave Bird as well, which would just one-shot us, which is why I maybe shit here as well. But they don't have now on the back the Sableye. I don't think there's a way of winning this battle. I don't think there is a way. We're gonna try our best still. Aerial Ace is coming through. The opponent let the move go through, and also we see Impeder here. It's just getting worse at this point. Like there is literally no reason really for me to play this one on, because the opponent has a 2-shield advantage now. I have a Jumpluff with no energy, and the opponent has a Decidueye, which does a ton of damage there with the fast move of Astonish, but I need to get an attack drop here, which I do, which is nice, at least here. First one where it really matters as well, as now Spirit Shackle is not going to knock me out anymore, and I am generating energy faster than the opponent. And I have Aerial Ace, which is also a very fast charge move. And so what we're gonna see here is the opponent going for another charge move, the opponent going for the Spirit Shackle. It is not enough. They're gonna get the defense drop as well, 33% chance, but we are going to be able to reach that Aerial Ace and win this battle. Next one, let's see what they're going to have. They're going to have a Gastron in the lead, horrible lead force, and so what we want to do here for sure is just to swap out into our Feraligatr, and we're going to see the Mandibuzz coming in. That is going to be for sure one that we can at least go for the Ice Beam for, which is kind of nice. So it's like not a hard wall to us as well, which is kind of nice. We're going to be able to go ahead and go for another Ice Beam eventually as well. We're going to use a shield here. It's going to be a Dark Pulse coming through, and that Ice Beam is going to be enough to get them at least into the yellow health range here, which is kind of nice. But honestly, like, this is a super effective Ice Beam against a Mandibuzz, and Mandibuzz is still taking it like it's nothing. It is crazy how bulky this Pokemon is. Hydro Cannon putting them into range where I hopefully could be able to farm them down. But honestly, I did not play well this morning as well. I kind of gotta put it onto the heat wave that's still here. Like, it's madness. Luckily, like, soon we have like very cold weather again, but playing at 30 degrees is not really nice for me, at least not for me here. Maybe some people are more used to it. But Jumpluff is going to be very used to the matchup against Gastron. I would imagine that Jumpluff is one of the most common Pokemon that we're going to see for the next tournament there as well. But I actually could see that Acrobatics has a more play than Aerial Ace for the next tournament, by the way, because Acrobatics would be able to allow you to one-shot certain Pokemon like other Jumpluffs, for example. So like there's actually some play for the Legacy moves as well on this Pokemon. But here we're gonna see the Clodsire coming in. We are gonna be able to go for one Energy Ball, try to get them low. We can swap into our Feraligatr, try to go for a Hydro Cannon. But I was fearing here at this point that the opponent would be able to still knock me out with the fast moves, but apparently they just let the charge move go through, which is also not really ideal from the opponent, I feel like. I can overfarm by a bit here with my Jumpluff. I can go up to 2 charge moves, and the opponent has nothing really they can do about this. So, still kind of an open game. They use a shield, they catch the move, great play by them, like very great play there for sure from them. We are not going to be able to do anything against the charge move that is coming through next as well. It's going to be the Mandibuzz, and here actually you're gonna see what I hate as well currently about the game, the inconsistencies. I should have knocked out the opponent. They went for a 3-turn fast move, I went for a 2-turn fast moves. Usually the damage would go through before they can go for a charge move there, but the game is so inconsistent right now. I would have won this battle otherwise. That's kind of the annoying thing as well, which I just don't really like in the current meta. Like, there's like so much inconsistency again. I feel like it is not in the current way right now where it is, I don't know, like I really hope that they are gonna fix PvP a bit as well. There's recently some changes to the raid ones as well, like to the raids in general, and it's way more consistent now, but it's also very weird right now, and they're definitely gonna change some more things about it as well. But maybe they're gonna be able to even bring consistency to PvP as well. Only took them like 7 years for raids to be consistent, but it is what it is. You're gonna see the jump off coming in here. We're gonna be able to catch that drill run from the opponent's Pokemon here just to get hardwalled by a Clodsire. Honestly, the meta is really dense right now, I feel like. They have like Clodsire everywhere, you have Dunsparce everywhere, you have Garson everywhere. Like it is very, very condensed meta, which I usually like a lot. I feel like this was a bit of an issue for the last few metas because they had like those core Pokemon that you had to bring because they were just so neutral against everything that they were kind of nice like this. But I really enjoy the current meta for sure. I like that it's 50-second switch time as well. I just don't really like the inconsistency in the gameplay itself. Yeah, I should have most likely played it a bit differently as well in this kind of game. There are definitely a lot of things I could improve if I would play again with this kind of team here, but as you can see, we still try our best. We can still try to go for Hydro Cannon with our Feraligatr. This is going to be able to get the shield, and we're going to lose the CMP tie, and this is going to be it for this video as well. Not a lot that I can do here. Definitely didn't play every battle perfectly fine as well. Definitely had some very unlucky matchups as well with Breaking Swipe and some lag. But it is what it is. Hopefully you still enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to leave a like, and I'll see you then. Bye bye.